What's up, YouTube? It's Rico the Foxkid here. Still tweaking out the Debris Light Swarm build. I want to get it pretty close to perfect before I actually post it. It's really close. There's only like one or two more things I need to tweak. So in the meantime, I've been tagged, apparently. I was tagged by aclinz, who was tagged by some guy, who was tagged by some guy, who was tagged by some guy, and so on and so forth. So now that I've been tagged, I need to answer these questions about myself and Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm kind of disappointed because there's only 7 of them. 6 of them are actual questions, so this is going to be pretty short. So, yeah, let's get into it. Question number 1. Who are you? I am Kyle Steven Beggs. Remember that. It'll be famous one day in Yu-Gi-Oh! I'd like to think so. Yeah. But yeah, I am Kyle Steven Beggs. I'm not afraid to say that anymore. 2. How or why did you get into Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, you see, back in 2002, when the game was at its peak of popularity, it had just come out, I was 8 years old. When you're 8 years old, you are in love with just about anything that is like catching on and all your friends are doing it. So, naturally all of my friends and all of my classmates were playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And they're like, oh, hey, Kyle, you should try playing Yu-Gi-Oh! It's awesome, and just all that stuff. So I got into it, and I just never got out, which I don't regret at all. I actually witnessed someone who, I have a friend who was trying to get someone else into Yu-Gi-Oh! And he was just kind of, maybe whatever. And his girlfriend is just like, oh my god, you are 19 years old. Why would you play a game like that? And I just look at her for 3 seconds and say, I'm 18 years old and have no intention of quitting. So it's just like, some people, a lot of people got into Yu-Gi-Oh! When it came out, that was the time I got into it. I never got out, and that's how I got into it. Question number 3. How or why did you start Yu-Gi tubing? I started doing it because, well, one, I feel I had established myself a little bit as someone on Pojo. I mean, not a lot of people out there know who I am. I mean, just because these days on Pojo, I mainly just stick to the Light Sworn thread. But I felt that by that point in the game, like that point in time in me playing, I had learned a lot, and I knew a lot, and I wanted to get my opinion out there, and I wasn't getting it out there on Pojo because half the people on Pojo are morons. So I wanted to get my opinion out there in an environment that wasn't so secluded, and I saw that a lot of people were starting to do Yu-Gi tubing, where they post their vlogs of their deck profiles or just stuff like that and their opinions on things. So I was like, that's pretty interesting. I think I'll give it a shot. So I made my first video for my first Yu-Gi-Oh video when the March 2010 ban list came out, and I went on a 30-minute rant of my review of the ban list. It wasn't really a rant, but that's where my long videos began. And my first video was 30 minutes long. But yeah, that's pretty much how I got into Yu-Gi tubing. I felt I knew a lot about this game, and I wanted to tell people my opinions. A lot of people think I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. I have been wrong before. I've been saying for the past forever that Light Sworn's going to be a top deck, and it hasn't done that yet. Maybe this format, maybe not. I don't know. Heroes are pretty busted right now. Yeah, so that's how I got into Yu-Gi tubing. Question 4. What is the first time you ever got your invite? I have not gotten my invite yet. I've gotten close. On 2 instances, I have gotten incredibly close, but I have not gotten my invite yet. Actually, no, on 3 instances, I've gotten my invite really close. The first one was when it was June 2011, during the format where Giant Trunid was the only back row hate card that was legal. Between Heavy, Cold Wave, and Giant Trunade. Giant Trunade was limited, the other 2 were banned. It was that format. I went with Twilight to the Rockville Regional, and went... see, it was... I think there were 9 rounds, so I think I went 5-4, and round 9, I was going against Jake Wakid, And I was like, this is a mirror match. I know how to deal with my own deck. I think I can handle this. I mean, he got the nutsiest hand game one. I was like, I can fight that game too. And so like he got the nutsiest hand. And then like when that ended, they're like, oh wait, we messed up. We have to do a repairing. So I got faced against a Frog Monarch guy instead. And during that format, Frog Monarch was probably my least favorite matchup because it was just so hard to deal with for me. Just they spat out so much advantage between Treeborn and Swap Frog and all the Monarchs. And like since the format was so slow, they could do it so easily, and Lightsworn just couldn't deal with that. It's just like they couldn't deal with all the advantage coming out of nowhere. So I ended up losing that match very, very closely, and it's like that bumped me out of the top 48 because the regional was so huge. It was 48 get invites. It's like I walked up to the invite, like the list of the top people, and aclinz, he wasn't my team captain yet because I wasn't a member yet, but I was there with them. They were there just like helping me out. And I walk up and it's like I see it and I walk away just kind of dejected, and I walk up to him and I say 52. I was 52nd out of like, and so I was 4 off of my invite for that. And he like his face just gets like so scared, shocked. He's like, oh no. And it's just like he's like, oh my god. So yeah, that's the first time I got close to my invite. The second time was at YCS Philly. It wasn't as close as like with the regional, but I still think it was pretty close because YCS Philly, like the one that just happened today, is the only YCS I've ever been to, and the only reason I was able to do it was because it was close enough to home. Because I live in Maryland, it's in Pennsylvania. It's what 4-hour drive. It's pretty short for most of these YCSs for me, and the other reason is because it was the week before my 18th birthday, so we just considered that my birthday present, that I'd get to go to the YCS. And that one, I managed to, like, I took Chaos Dragons that one time. I managed to get all the way to day 2, and then I just got throttled that day by, like, Insectors. I misplayed really badly. And then, wind-ups, I got looped twice. So, yeah, so that knocked me out of the top 32. But I came really close to it because making day 2 of your first YCS is pretty impressive. I met Jaywalk Kid there again, and he agreed, like, because round 8 we were getting ready, and some guy was talking about how I was like, oh, I'm not usually up here, and I just piped up, this is my first YCS, and Jaywalk Kid, he's like 2 rows away from me. He's like, wow, if this is your first YCS and you're this far up, that's pretty good. So, yeah. I was also directly, like, I was at the end of the table, and at the end of the table directly next to me was Nazar Sarhan. I really wanted to face him. Yeah. I don't get into that too much. I don't want to start drama with people across the country in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh players, but whatever. It is what it is. There are a lot of people I don't like, and I hope they perfectly know well who they are. So, and then the third time that I came close to my invite, it was the same day, YCS Philly. I was in a last chance qualifier, and I didn't read a BLS coming, and I was too late to decrow it, and then I just misplayed after that. Just I was so upset that I missed it. So I got knocked out in the semifinals of a last chance qualifier, or not a last chance. It was a mini regional. So those are 3 times I've gotten close to my invite, but I never have actually gotten one yet. There's a regional coming up in October that's going to be 20 minutes away from my college, and like I'm pretty sure I can get my invite there just because this format looks to be so good and so diverse that my deck could do it. Okay, question 5. What is your favorite deck ever? Do you even need to ask me that? If you've seen any of the... I don't know. I have more than Yu-Gi-Oh videos on this channel, but so I'd say about 150 of my videos are Yu-Gi-Oh, maybe a little less. Out of all of those, I'm pretty sure anybody could tell that my favorite deck ever is Lightsworn. I love Lightsworn to death. I mean, I looked at them, like, when, like, Light of Destruction had just come out in the OCG. I looked at them. I read the concept of them, and I said, that is pretty cool. I would like to make a deck like that. At that time, I did not even know that Lightsworn was a meta deck, or any of that. I just thought the idea was cool, and I really wanted to use it. And then, like, over the next 2 to 3 years, I just built the deck so slowly. I just built up on everything. I bought a few of the cards off eBay. I traded, and it got to the point that right when the Dark Strike Fighter format ended, I had everything I needed except for Judgment Dragon, Charge, and Honest. And I just made a makeshift Twilight deck out of that because I had a Dark Arm Dragon. And I just haven't stopped it since. Like you can, I guess you can say I kind of stopped for YCS Philly, and it's when I switched to Chaos Dragon. Although until that night, I was considering going either Twilight or Dragonsworn. So, and then even after YCS Philly ended, I switched to Dragonsworn. So, and this format, I'm definitely running Lightsworn. I don't know if I'm gonna do Pure Lightsworn or Debris Lightsworn. Probably Debris. I'm enjoying it more, but yeah. So I love Lightsworn to death. It is definitely my deck. If there's any other decks, I would say I really like not to the level of how much I love Lightsworn, but the other two decks I would say I really love are Chaos and Plant. Just Chaos because when I first like played with my friends, we did the traditional format, so everybody liked to give me cards when they quit, so I masked this whole load of forbidden cards so I could make this really stupid broken Chaos deck. And I used that and I stopped my friends, so ever since I've been in love with Chaos. And then the reason I love Plant is just I love like generating so much advantage just exploding out of nowhere, and that is exactly what Plant used to do. So I was really happy when Debris Dragon and Spore came back, just because it meant I could kind of work with a deck that I loved so much and just got murdered. But yeah, without a doubt, my favorite deck is Lightsworn. Number 6. Why do you play Yu-Gi-Oh? Because it's fun and I love it. I mean, that's really like that's why I play. Like, I mean, I know it's like there are people who play because they make money off of it, and I respect that. It's just like my aclinz, he plays it because he makes money off of it. I mean, he enjoys it too, but like he likes that he makes money off of it. I just play it because it's fun. Like I just like having fun, and you know, it upsets me when I see those people who take it so seriously, and like they freak out about it, and they're just like that one guy who went out of his way to make sure I lost in that one round. Like he stacked, he tried to rule shark me, he tried to get me disqualified by a judge, and I still beat him, and he wouldn't even shake my hand. It's like I signed the paper, I said good game, he got up and left, and I was like, okay, pussy. Yeah, so like it's like people like that upsets me. It's a game, it's supposed to be fun. I will admit last format wasn't the best one. In fact, last format was the only format I legitimately stopped enjoying. But I still played the game. It was still fun. And you know, that's really the only reason I play it. It's fun, and also I get to meet a lot of people. I mean, like my team, like my teammates, they are some of the greatest people I've ever met. And if I didn't play Yu-Gi-Oh, I wouldn't know any of them. And there are a lot of other people who aren't on my team that I've met through Yu-Gi-Oh, and they're pretty cool. A few of them, just there are a few I wish I kind of could unknow, but you can't stop that. I mean, you know who you know, and people walk in and out of your life. It's how it goes. But I've met so many people that I care very deeply for through Yu-Gi-Oh, and I enjoy being with them. I enjoy having a good time with them, and it makes the game fun no matter what happens. We can go through like the shitty ass format like last time, and I still had fun. I mean, YCS Philly was one of the best times of my life. And yeah, and that's why I play Yu-Gi-Oh. Question 7 isn't really a question. It's like, who are your tagged Yu-Gi tubers? And that's the problem. There aren't really many Yu-Gi tubers I know who haven't already done this. I mean, aclinz tagged me, so I can't tag him back. He already tagged the Shapeworks, which is another one of my friends, so I'm not going to tag him. There's Curtis D88, but he's quit, so he won't do it. And then, like, I have some of my friends from Pojo, like Mental Duck 9 and Team Umbra, but I haven't seen them online in a while, so there's really no one left. Whoever sees this, go ahead, do it. I don't care. I tag every single Yu-Gi tuber out there. Do it. I kind of wish this was a little longer, but I've already gone for 15 minutes. So, yeah, so that's it. I'll get that Debris Lightsworn build up as soon as possible. It is literally so close to being finished. I just need to fit in one or two more cards, or just test it a little more, see what some issues are. But it's pretty close to done. I might post a pure build. I don't think it's as good as the debris build. It's good. I mean, the extra necro, now that there's 3 necro, there's honest, and now that like the game's kind of slowed down a little bit now that the Zectors are gone, it means Celestia is kind of playable again, but it's still not as good as debris in my opinion. Just stuff like that. So yeah. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Deuces.